Welcome to the round one review. It's George from Fantasy Take TV. Round one was not great, and when we have a really bad week, when things go wrong, which we'll talk about and we'll dive into, we look to cope with Scotch. And we're going to have a shot. Because this week was the worst week I've ever seen in my life. And I don't drink. At Christmas parties, when I get pressured, if I'm out, I'll maybe have one shot. And when the Supercoach team that I put hundreds of hours into in pre-season, all for round one to go to shit. So cheers to that. Yuck. Maybe we do another one after, because I'm not happy at all. We scored one under 2,000. Scored under 2,000, ranked 50k, like a first-time player on Facebook. I don't know what to say. I thought after, I'm sure we all know what's happened. Like, Stuart, I don't have Stuart, but like Stuart went down. Jones scored 5. Like Josh Kelly, oh my god, this unlucky that bloke. But I think what hurt the most was RORY, LAIRD's 50 and captain. And all the people that like don't pay 700k for these guys just popping champagne. It's just pretty painful. But yeah, I haven't done my trades yet. I was playing around with it just before, but yeah, ranked 46k. It's round one, so you won't get a decent idea into a few rounds, but obviously you'd rather be in a better position than this. But far out, just total shambles of a week. Friday was like, I can cop Tanner Bruin, like fair enough. We'll talk about Tanner, but if that goes badly, I'm like, okay, fair enough, it goes badly. If Warper went bad today, fair enough, mid-pricer. But for LAIRD to score 50, I can't understand how he hasn't scored this bad since 2014. He's 700k, and I've captained him in every fucking format, and it's just fucked me in every format. The whole lot. I don't even want to talk about my fantasy team. I got Cherry in that format as well. Oh my god, just a total disaster. How do we go to edit team? Oh my god. So like on Saturday night, like obviously Jones was a disaster, but he's 45% owned or something. So it's safety numbers somewhat. But I was feeling okay, but for Kelly to get KO'd and LAIRD to do this, RORY LAIRD, bruv, I don't know. I can't even understand how this happens. So I don't know. He must have been sick. It was pretty hot out there. Obviously, not making excuses. Like Cogs killed it out there, and Tom Green went ballistic. But the Croms midfield just did a Houdini, went into meltdown in that second half. Like Berry, I was expecting big things from Berry this year. It's round one, but he was really poor. Rochelle was our best midfielder and like almost did his hamstring. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get into the team because I'm pretty dumbfounded by this LAIRD scenario where I'll hold him, see how he goes next week. I'm not planning to trade him. Like he's got to bounce back. I watched him in the preseason. Like he spoke about how he was a bit underdone last year with the hand, better prep this year. Advertiser article, RORY LAIRD raring to go, ready to go, like as if he's going to win the freaking Brownlow, like almost as bad as like how much the West has pumped up West Coast, like Elliot Yost, but it's the same level with LAIRD this year. And for that to happen is just the worst. It happened a few years ago. I captained Dunkley for a 60. I captained Steele for an 80-something last year or something stupid in round one. But yeah, I think we'll get into it. We'll stop mumbling on that. So we'll get into the team. So Doherty was fine. I think McGovern eats into his score a little bit, which is a bit annoying. So that's fine. He's keeper. I think he's top 6 or around the mark. So that's fine. Ridley was good. I watched the second half of this game and I thought the ball lived on the other end. Hawthorn pretty poor, I guess. So they didn't see much ball, and oh my goodness, James Sicily is going to break the marks record this year, I think. So Ridley was fine. He was tick. I think they freed him up a bit. He looked good back there. I think Redmond got a bit more involved. But yeah, no Hind, no Ambrosio down there. I think he's a tick for Ridley, and yeah, he looks good. Kicked a really nice goal, which was good. But I think 107, I think I think he does like 100, which for his price, hopefully that's enough. Jones, yeah, played almost half a game and just didn't score any points. And the interesting thing here is you look at round 2. Well, he plays St Kilda, of course, in round 2, which puts you in a bit of a difficult spot because if he plays, you kind of don't want to risk fielding him. But you're also thinking, well, if anyone saw the Fremantle versus St Kilda game, St Kilda got no tools basically. Cox scored 150, Young scored 130, Luke Ryan scored 170. I think that's got to be the record for the top 3 defenders scoring in one round. I think Bruce has hurt him because Bruce is able to peel off and take intercepts, so that maybe takes a bit away from Jones now that Gardner's out the team. So I don't really want to risk fielding him, to be honest. But I guess we'll see if he's fit or not. I think Cowan plays Friday, so like if Cowan, first of all, he needs to play. If he can pull like a 70 at his ass and Jones doesn't play, that would be perfect. I'd take that. Ginby was very good. He's their best midfielder already. I guess Shuey was really good, but like second best Ginby. McKenna was good. So this is one where like I got pretty hard baited into preseason games. I always do. So lesson for next year, but never seem to learn. But at least with this one, I held the faith with McKenna and fielded him. So I thought I did want him on the bench, but he looked really rusty in the preseason. But I knew he was capable because I remember him being almost all Australian a few years back, and he was very, very good. And yeah, he was balling. So yeah, preseason game was rusty as hell, but yeah, he played really, really good. And he's going to be a very nice one back there for us. I think he can do 80 like he did in the past. So tick. Constable scored like negative 40 dream team to Supercoach. So he had 10 turnovers, something like that. Like incredible amount of turnovers. Just misses targets easily. Like if you like, he tries to kick along the boundary and it just looks like it's going to go out every time. So I don't think he's the future of that back line, which means I think he's in trouble over the next few weeks when Weller and Powell and whoever else comes back. So I think he's in trouble. But I think we're only 4 games away from being able to get Sheasel down back. And by the way, I think if you follow me on Twitter, I didn't have Sheasel, but at the last second I put Sheasel in because he was lining up at halfback, and I'm very lucky that happened, because if we didn't have him, it would have been trouble. And yeah, Wilmot, Cowan, like pretty trash rookies. Not terrible, but like slow burns, I think. Wilmot was alright. Cowan got 2 big intercepts, and that was pretty much all he did, and he got subbed off. So a bit more defensive role for him. Now midfield. Not good. Tom Green is pretty high owned, so is Bont, so they kind of cancel each other out. But Laird, I guess people went Oliver here, people went Laird, people went nobody, you went McRae, you went Steele, whatever you wanted to do here, you could do whatever. But Laird, I spoke about him before, like I just can't believe it. Like I can cop anything else, but when a proven guy who's been like raring to go, he does this. He's been 120 since he moved into the midfield for like a 50 game stretch now, so it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know, I can't, it's just too painful. And then yeah, Discord was like, all the non-Laird owners were just celebrating too hard. This is very painful. Bont was good until like he went missing for a period. First half he was massive. I thought, oh, we got a captain here, but yeah, it didn't take the 107. I think it's okay to pass on a 107. I think probably my line is like early rounds 115. But that's okay. Josh Kelly, of course, he got KO'd. He's cursed. Like I like Kelly. He rarely has a bad game. He works really hard. He tries hard. Like you never see him or like not try. He always plays well. But I think he's just cursed. Like he's had multiple concussions over his career and pretty unlucky. I think Sloan pushed someone into him and just got hit. So he's out, and sometimes when players come back from concussion, they can take a while to get going, and it's a bloody shame because they play West Coast next week. Who else they got? Carlton's like difficult-ish. Then they got like, who have they got? Essendon's like whatever, and then I think they got like Hawthorn here. It's like very annoying. So do you hold a 1 week concussion? During the season, I think you do, because it stuffs up your upgrade cycle. But right now, we need to get points on the field. and take other opportunities. So just very, very frustrating. It was him or Jack Macrae. And to be honest, Jack Macrae had 33 touches, but just didn't look super great, I thought. Like, his outside game's good, but they're letting the other boys do the in and under stuff. So yeah, when Jack Macrae was at his best, he was doing the in and under stuff, and he's not really doing that. He's getting fed the ball in the midfield. So I think he'll still be pretty like a 110, but I don't think he'll be much more than that. I think we trade Kelly. Tom Green was very good, dominant. You can see how he got... I didn't actually realise he actually had 33 touches a game in juniors, so that actually caught me off guard. So very impressive, and yeah, West Coast don't have a matchup for him, so probably playing Jinby or something. Jacob Hopper is a fraud. Oh my goodness. He needs to go within the next 2 weeks. Look, he plays Adelaide this week, so he can probably hold, but eye test is a abysmal failure, and he's not anywhere near his best, and whether he'll get there, I don't know. So he hasn't come good yet. Maybe it's his knee, I don't know. Had a limited preseason, but a managed preseason, so oh, what a fraud. Get me out of this. I don't know. The MCG surface is pretty bad at the moment, so like he was slipping a lot, but was that the MCG surface? But he's slow to react, no outside game, yeah, just gets caught easily, just looks terrible, looks terrible. Kicking is bad, like everything is bad with Hopper, just a fraud pick. But yeah, over the next one, James Warple was very good. I think that's the problem with Warple. I guess he's going to be like, his best games are always going to be limited by that disposal, but it wasn't too bad today. I saw the second half, but I thought he was alright. Works really hard, and I think he'll stay there. So we hit a mid-pricer, which is good. Happy with that. Ashcroft was disappointing. I think it's just, you throw an 18-year-old into the CBAs against, big-bodied mids like Port. I guess you got Horn Francis there, but you got Wines and Rosie Butters, like many pre-seasons under their belt now. They're not, like, Ashcroft's not ready, I think. I think they need to recalibrate him to like a wing or something. We'll see how he goes against tough opposition. He looked lost, kicked a nice goal, but just, yeah, didn't get going. And then Cam McKenzie, he's a star. He's really good, just so composed. So we can just keep fielding him. Hollands was a mistake. This needed to be a one. We needed to grab 40k and put it in the bank. Oscar Baker was pretty average, kicked a nice goal, and then Chesser is a massive fraud. He can't play. He sucks. I kind of knew that as well, just by watching him. It's like he's one contested disposal against North. If you're not going to get contested touches against North, you're never going to get one. So he's no good. And the game before, in the practice game, the only reason why he touched it because they threw him on ball for a bit and the ball went his way. No contested game, just lost, just floating around doing nothing. So he's shit, and I'd like to get into Chandler, but maybe next week. The Ruck's wrong Ruckman, I guess, for this week, but Darcy looked good enough. If round 3 he gets West Coast, and if Nick Nat is out, he should gobble up and destroy Bailey J. Williams. But yeah, I do wish it was Wits, but it is what it is. I think they'll both average similar-ish, hopefully. But yeah, Darcy majority Ruck. And then Rowan, I guess Shrek's always going to be a tough matchup for everybody, so take the 80. I guess the worry is that like Gorn looks really good, even though his Ruck time wasn't super high. Like 50, 60, I can't remember. And then I think it was more than Grundy actually. And then you got Wits as well. Wits looks fantastic, but had an easy opposition. But around the ground stuff is much better this year. So he needs to go with those two. So I definitely don't have the top 2 rucks here. But hopefully they can go close or around the mark, and then we'll see how we go. Madden's our loop. Should have taken Bont, but didn't take it. Dunkley was very average. First half was good. 108 was, I'll take a 108 from him, but the Port midfield lowered their colours at Brisbane. But it doesn't matter. Everyone has Dunkley. Rosie was pretty solid. I think he's 105, hopefully. But the CBAs seem to be up, which is great for him. Taranto, again, old Butcher Taranto is back, and that's just how it is. But he looks really good, and he's the number 1 mid in there, so that's a tick. Gordon, I didn't watch Sydney. Who'd they play? They won against Gold Coast. I watched a bit of the second half because I was watching the Dogs versus Melbourne. So I watched a little bit, and it wasn't that great. And then Tanner Bruin, this pick is the biggest fucking mess of the whole lot. I think I banked myself on this one because I really liked him in the preseason games, and he's good when he's in the midfield attending stoppages, because if he's not at a stoppage, he's not going to score. The issue is he ready for decent mid-time yet? It doesn't seem like it. And Chris Scott played him on the wing, and his time on ground was horrific as well. I think the whole fourth quarter was on the wing. It was a Luke Beveridge to Jack McRae special. And Geelong were on top or around or better than Collingwood when he was in the midfield. They need him in the midfield. But I'm not sure he's ready for mid-time yet. So I'm not too upset about this, because watching him in the preseason, you could see that he's a good stoppage player. It's just that he's still young, and maybe Parfit affected his mid-time, because Parfit got subbed on. He started getting CBAs, and they shuffled things around when Tom Stewart went down. So yeah, I think what do you do with Bruin? I don't know. I think you trade, because plays wing again, you're kind of stuffed, and they got Bose to come into the team who should get CBAs. So I don't think Bruin's going to get a prime role. Doesn't seem like he's ready for it. I'd like to hold, but I think there's some really good opportunities out there. So I don't know. And then Sheezel we brought in for Flanders at the last second, so a little bit lucky, because I liked Flanders, but his role was pretty shit. Fourth quarter I watched a bit, it looked alright, but it must have been bad in the first 3 quarters, because he didn't score, but I don't know. So yeah, that's the team. So what are the issues here? No Nick Dacos. What do we do about that? Hopper is useless. Bruin's no good as a pick. I guess our rucks, we'll leave the rucks for now, and hopefully that sorts itself out in time. We've got Liam Jones, so we've got a bunch of issues here, and we need Chandler. So I haven't really planned my trades yet. Maybe no Cogs is an issue as well. Yeah, we saw that fixture. He's got West Coast next week. What do we do? You could hold Kelly because it's a concussion, but I want to get points on the field. Jones is a really tricky one, because if he plays and he plays that weak that St Kilda back line, he should have a free reign over them. But then again, I don't know. I kind of just want to trade and not risk a donkey key position player score. Now, do you grab Nick Dacos? Because Nick Dacos is a hard one now, because the reason why we didn't pick him is, I didn't pick him is because I thought he'd be tagged every second week. And Port, do they restrict halfbacks anymore? I think the halfbacks for Brisbane scored actually alright, like McKenna and Ridge scored alright. So it's just whether they put time, whether they put a Sam Pepper onto him. So I'll probably have to look that up. Can we do this? No, I don't think we can do it. What is this message? Piss off. Damn it, we can't get Chandler like this. That's so annoying. We get Noah Long. I don't think we need Noah Long. Or do we just piss Hopper off? But Hopper plays the Crows. Which means we filled Chandler for... I don't think that's a good idea. Chandler can score pretty bad. This is just an example. I'm not sure I'm actually going to do this. Oh, hang on. We can do this. That would solve a lot of issues, but then we're fielding Davey here. Or we can maybe loop... No, we can't loop anything. And then next week, we would do... well, we need to get Bruin to Horn Francis or Zeeble or Setterfield. I don't know how we come up with the funds for that. But at least this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We go up to 13 keepers, so we're actually advancing the team like this. And we can grab a keeper in Nick Dacos for 500k. Yeah, we'd have to go like Hollins to somebody and then Bruin up to... Like, I don't even think that's worth 2 trades. This could have been so much easier if we just went McRae over Laird. This, like, problem solves. I don't know. The interesting thing with, like, Setterfield's no chance to be keeper, and he played easy opposition, and his disposal sucks. So I'm not sure there's any point going for Setterfield. I feel like he's a nice luxury, whereas Horn Francis and Zeeble could be a keeper in your forward line, or Zeeble down back. I wonder if Laird shits the bed next week. Do we cash him in? I don't know. I'm a bit lost today, to be honest, because I think this week's completely thrown me off. And yeah, just trying to gather your thoughts. So hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do for trades, but I'll see. Maybe we filled Ollie Hollins. That's probably not great though. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to do, so I haven't decided on my trades yet, but we'll see how we go. But nonetheless, that's all from me. Actually, I was just thinking, well, if we're fielding Hollins over Hopper, we're probably going to lose points this week, but or maybe we grab, instead of Cogs, we grab Horn Francis, but we want Cogs against West Coast, maybe not. It's a tough one. Horn Francis looks really, really good, but yeah. Anyway, I think that's it from me. I think we'll do a podcast tomorrow. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.